All right, welcome back to the channel. So let's take a look. Today is May the 7th. We're looking here at the NASDAQ futures, and the strategy in which I talk about and how I trade is pretty simple, guys. To be honest with you, there's nothing complex about it. It's all about following structure and taking your trades surrounding the best zones, meaning supply and demand levels. So let's take a look here to see what has been taking place since the overnight session. We've got a run to the downside here. So right now, yesterday we were bullish after about 10 o'clock to the upside. So there's a nice area of structure being formed here. This is a area in which if the market breaks below it, the market could break structure to the downside. We have a major high that we're just coming off of, and we've got a bit of a reversal pattern situation right here to where we have a head and shoulder pattern at the tops here, and now we're starting to break structure lower. So as the market comes down, this right here, I would consider this to be a major area of structure as well within this leg here. So you have a major low and a major low resting right here. So I'm going to kind of, I'm kind of waiting to see what the market is going to do. Looking at the economic calendar right now, as far as news, we have crude oil today at 10:30. We have federal fund rates today in FOMC statement today at 2 p.m. So we have to be very cautious about that news right there. But looking at the analysis of the market as a whole from a top-down approach and looking at the higher base charts first, that's where I start at. I trade range bar charts or range base charts, and what I'm seeing right now is that we're kind of bearish to the downside. So I would be interested in looking for opportunities to go short. And this is a actual area of supply right here on the higher base chart, my 120. So what I typically do is I mark up my first zone off of my higher base chart. Okay, like right here. Now in this situation here, because we started breaking structure lower to the downside, I mean, we have some areas where the market can fill gaps going back up. So you got to be very mindful of those areas as well. So I'm going to be very cautious as to what the market does right now. And we're tapping into the zone. As you can see, this is where I would typically move down to my lower base chart to see what the market, it's kind of volatile right now, so I have to be careful, could actually do. We may come down and want to continue pushing lower, but right now, we're kind of low on the legs that's forming to the downside after reversing from the tops right here. So I'm going to be very cautious about things right now. It is 9:52 Eastern time, my time right now. So looking at the lower base chart, the market came up. It tapped this low probability supply zone here, and now it's rejecting. But we do have a high probability zone that the market just came off of here. So I'm going to wait right now because I'm just now looking at my charts to, I don't want to just jump into anything, if you know what I mean. Now, even though we're showing, a bearish direction here on this channel to the downside on my higher base or higher time frame chart, we're kind of showing bullish direction after making higher highs and higher lows, breaking structure to the upside here on the lower base, my entry chart, my 24 range. So this is where I kind of don't want to go against the grain. If you're doing that, then you'll be counter trend trading, meaning taking trades from your lower time frame chart against the overall direction of the higher base. There's nothing wrong with doing that. I'm not saying there is, but I typically like to trade in the direction of the higher base chart. So whatever my bias is, whatever the overall trend is of the market at the given time, looking here at the higher base chart. So we could break this area right here to the upside. And if we do, we may want to come up and start testing higher areas where is really what could, actually occur here. So I'm going to wait right now because the market opened up in this area right here. We got to push down and pull back. This was again, a supply area, but we're so far from the tops here where things kind of reversed that, and we've got areas where the market could fill gaps going back to the upside. So I personally would like to see if they're going to push a little higher, maybe break above this high here, and then pull back to maybe fill some gaps going back to the upside. So let's see. I will say this, trading supply and demand is probably one of the best ways if you are really wanting to grow an account, especially, over a period of 30 days. You can do this even with a small account size of like $1,000. But I would trade the micro futures starting off with and just, basically, scalping for 50, 60 to 100 $100 a day, whatever the case is, or like I always talk about, practicing that 5 to 6% rule, to where you're only, risking 5 to 6% capital in your account, trading the micros. So maybe you're going for, a 2-to-1 type scenario, to where you're risking one, maybe $60 to profit, $120. So you can build an account up each and every day by practicing that risk reward percentage rule that I've talked about in videos before, on 5 to 6%. So here we go, breaking that area above now. So you can see we're bullish here on the higher base chart. The lower base chart, my lower time frame. So honestly, I would be looking for maybe a pullback, to actually go long, possibly, even though because now we're kind of breaking structure above the first area structure here, taking out this high here. So let's see what the market is going to do, at this point. So I'm looking for maybe to come up and start filling some. There's a gap here that needs to be filled back to the upside here. Now, they can reject right here and just push lower and break structure here back to the downside. So I'm just going to hold off and let the charts kind of tell me what they're going to do here. But following the trend right now, we're bearish, breaking our first area structure, meaning taking out these sellers right here, where the market was making lower lows and lower highs. But as it stands right now, overall, we are bearish but bullish on the the lower base or lower time frame chart. So okay, I think I'm gonna go long right here. I enter with 4 contracts. Okay, I'm gonna scalp this back to the upside, with hopes that they react off of this area here and push higher. So let's see. I'm gonna take out the high up here. I'm gonna take out my contracts up here at the high. I'm going to put my stop loss down here at the bottom. Okay. I'm looking for them to take this high out here. Come on, go up. Was that 10, 11 points there? Come on, push up. Okay, first trade successful there, moving to the upside here. And what I'm looking at is because they took out this first area to the upside here. So I'm not saying it's a full-on trend or change in the market at this time, reversing back to the upside, because we do got our first break of structure here to the upside. But again, we've got areas where they may want to fill back to the upside first. Again, overall, we're still bearish to the downside. But yeah, this is, I don't want to call it a hidden secret in trading or anything like that. It's just really following the flow of the market and looking to see, when they actually are ready to reverse. What are the signs? So far, they're breaking above this area structure. I would prefer to see them make a higher low right here and then break more to the upside. And that's going to be the reversal that we see, or the pattern that we see, to where they start moving back to the upside. Now, this is a major high here. This is a major low on this leg or trend channel to the downside right here, like I mentioned. For all those that may be struggling seeing that, I'll kind of show you right quick. This is a channel right now that we're kind of trading in as we move lower. Lows, lower highs, pushing lower like that. So they could come down here and break this area. They could take out this major area where there's a major low resting right here. This is a major structure area point right here. So we'll see what happens. So far, successful. I'm not quite sure if that was probably about 11 or 12 point scalp right there. And that time I did go in on 4 contracts. So it was a pullback. Rejected this. What did it reject off of? Oh, it pulled back right here. Rejected right here. So right here at the break in this area structure here, which is a major high right here on the 24 range. I believe so. Let me look at the lower base chart here. Let's see what we got. Yeah, that's a major area structure right here. Being, breaking to the upside right here and then pulling back and then taking that area out. So they broke above that area there, breaking that area structure and then pulling back. So that's why I was looking for an opportunity to actually go long right there. So we'll see what they do. All right. So, looking here, let's see. They may want to break this area structure here in the 24 range. So I think they're trying to push higher, to be honest with you. So far, they're going to have to break above this area here, but I think they may be trying to, pull back and fill some areas in back to the upside as it stands right now. But we'll wait and, just kind of see what they're going to do here. But yeah, I mean, it would make sense. So the real secret to trading is honestly, it's understanding and following structure, being able to read the market and what it's trying to accomplish. That's the real trading secret behind actually trading. That's what's going to help you really grow an account or help build your account size up if you're someone that has a small size account. And I talk about it where you can start with just $1,000, and within 30 to 60 days, a matter of just 4 weeks, and you can grow that account. I've talked about that in a couple of videos. Just kind of do a search on the channel, and you'll find lots of video content where I'm talking about, growing an account, building up an account size, trading with $1,000, trading with $500, trading the micros, just kind of the routine of going about starting with 5 to 6%. Not say starting with 5 or 6%. What I'm trying to say is that really only leveraging 5 to 6% of your account. That's how much or capital, how much you're willing to risk, and maybe going for, like I said, a 2 to 1. Like if you're risking 5% of your capital, then try to go for 10%. Or if you're risking 6%, try to go for 12%, on taking out profit somewhere. So that way you're going for 2 to 1. I'm risking 6, I'm looking to make 12%. So something like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, so let's see here. All right. So if like I covered this in a video. So like if you have $1,000, for example, right, and you say I want to risk 6% of my account size, right? 6% of $1,000 is going to be $60. So if you're willing to risk 60, then you probably want to try to at least make 60 going for a 1-to-1, meaning risking 60 to make $60, or try to double up and make 120. Now, if you could do that, let's say you make $120 a day times, just say 5. Hypothetically, I'm not saying it's always going to be 100% trading, but let's say you're able to do that and you kind of are wavering between $500 to $600 a week. Well, on $500, that's $2,000. Okay, so maybe you start with $1,000 and now you're up $3,000 on profit in $2,000, or maybe you're up making $600 a week and now you're up $2,400 on the month. Now you have up $3,400 to where you started from with just $1,000. So that's at the end of 4 weeks or 30 days. That's how much you would actually have, and then you can do that again the next month, and then it starts to really capitalize and grow from there. So as I stated here, okay, now we're breaking above this area structure here on the 24 range chart. So let's see what they do here. Let's see if they're going to pull back and continue on to push higher. Yeah. I'm not sure what they're trying to do right now. To the upside here, I'm going to scalp this for 10 points. Hopefully they continue pushing to the upside here. Take out this high right here. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That quick. It was so quick, I wasn't even able to put my stop loss in. My stop would have went in the back end right here at 19,936 is a demand zone resting right here. That's why I took the trade, and they went up there and hit my stop that quick. Okay. I'm sorry, not my stop. My profit area, my profit target. Not my stop, guys. They didn't hit my stop. They hit my area of taking profit at right up here. So I think that was for about 10 points, I believe. I have to go back and look at it. All right, so right now they're making these small little lower highs coming down, but they haven't broke through this area structure right here. So not area, well, yeah, this little area structure, but also this demand area. They come down here close to the bottom right here. They've made equal lows right here, so you have to be careful here because they may want to come down and take out these lows. That's liquidity resting right there, but they may want to continue pushing higher to fill the, again, these gaps coming back to the upside here. So just going to wait patiently to see what they do. I'm not going to take another trade here at this moment, but I get a funny feeling they're going to try to break higher. I could be absolutely wrong. No one's perfect when it comes to this. You trade based on what you see in the market. happening. But right now they're kind of moving sideways, making these on the lower time frame, 24 range. They're making lower lows and lower highs right now. So moving sideways right here. All right, so they just swept that area of liquidity below these equal lows right here, and now they may want to try to push higher. This is kind of the game they play when it comes to trading, is that when they start building up or setting up traps, especially with surrounding areas of liquidity, and they'll sweep or grab those areas to make it look like they're trying to go one direction, like breaking below these lows right here, those equal lows, and then they swipe it and then it's break back to the upside or break back to the downside. So you can see what they're doing now. See, they wanted to grab this area of liquidity right here. So before they wanted to run even higher, they came down. There's equal lows resting right here. They came down, grabbed it. Now they just broke slightly above these highs here. And for anyone that has a hard time really reading, structure in a sense, you can see it by using turn on line chart. So you can see where they made this high, they come down, broke below these lows here. Now they're grabbing basically more liquidity here at the top, but they're taking out structure as well, running these equal highs at the top. So, it looks as if they're really trying to push higher and fill some gaps going back to the upside here. So right now, we'll just see what happens here. This is an area of demand resting right here on the 24 range that they can come down and test and then break back higher. Now just be mindful because it didn't give a clean break of structure above. This is a minor or weak break of structure, not say minor, but a weak break of structure back to the upside here because they didn't give a full body close of a candle above. You got some wicks of candles. So they may want to come back here and then come back and they may test this high right here. So let's see what happens if they pull back to around, the 19,934 area. But let's see. But I've already taken pretty much my 2 trades today, so I'm just going to kind of wait and I'm going to be done for the day. I've taken 2 little scalp trades, and I think the first one was for 13 points. The second one was for like 9 or 10 points. So I got. If I get 20 points on the day on the NASDAQ, I know it don't sound like a lot, but when if you're trading with multiple contracts, it adds up pretty quick. And again, we're all about building the account size up versus trying to rush and make $5,000 and $10,000 on a day. Anyone out there trying to, they're leveraging their full account size or 50% of their account, then you're trading crazy. And there we go. I mentioned it right here. This was the zone. See that? We broke above these highs right here, a weak record structure, but still came back. High probability, 24 range, demand zone resting right there. I'm just showing you guys, I'm running you through this. There's no hidden secret behind all this stuff, but this is the way that I actually trade following structure. Again, what did I say? We look like we're trying to push higher. We're taking out areas to the upside here, small levels, but aiming for this right here is a break of structure coming lower, so they may want to come back up and start feeling like this the gap on the in between these candles here, that FEG, that fair value gap. They may want to fill that in and come up and test this supply zone resting right here. But I'd be careful about them, taking trades going short from this area here because we're starting to break structure higher now. I'm not saying that we can't, reject off of this zone here, the supply zone, but again, we are breaking structure higher. Again, this was a high probability 24 range demand zone on the lower time frame chart, just following the trend. You have to analyze the markets to be able to break this stuff down and be able to see it. So looking at, there's a demand zone resting down here that they could actually come back and test. I'm not sure if they're going to come back. They could reject any of these areas right here and continue pushing higher. But again, this was a valid area right here. I said it. It was a break of structure, demand zone right here, okay? And then you could have taken that long right there. In all honesty, where to take it up to, just your stop is going to go on the back end here at 928. 19,928, and your first area of profit could be up here at 19,945. Why? Because you have an area. I'm only saying this because you have an area of there's a swing right here to the downside. This is a supply zone here, so you could take and got into the trade here somewhere around 935 and taking it up here to 945, picked up 10 points real easy off the 24 range lower time frame chart. Again, this is all just showing you a way in which you can build your account size up within a matter of 4 weeks to 30 days, just by scalping these, taking these small moves, but overall trading in the direction of what's going on the chart. We're making higher highs and higher lows. We're breaking above areas. We broke this structure. We pulled back. We broke this structure. We pulled back. We broke this structure here. We pull back. We're breaking more structure to the upside. You have to be able to see this stuff. All right, there we go. I already said it. I mean, early into this video here, what they're probably trying to aim to do. Yeah, this was a valid supply zone here off the higher base chart, the higher time frame chart, the 120. Makes sense, right? But we got gaps above us and where they can actually fill. So they will likely test higher areas before they make make their next decision of what they're actually going to try to do. Like yesterday right here, when we reversed right here and started pushing to the upside, this was a valid demand zone. They did react off of it. Don't get me wrong. They rejected it, but they didn't go all the way back up here. This is kind of like a fake out in a sense. You could look for an opportunity to get into a trade, maybe taking it back up to fill the first fair value gap area, like right here. But they kept pushing lower. They were seeking out lower areas, and then they didn't come all the way down here and fill the rest of these areas coming back down to the downside. Well, I'm sorry, they actually did, but not immediately before they pulled back. But they actually pulled back and then ran coming lower, doing what? Filling more gaps coming back down to the downside. So you have to be, what I'm trying to say overall is you have to be mindful of the fair value gaps. And if you see, they filled all of them coming back down up to this point right here pretty much yesterday, right here, before pushing back higher. They've got to fill those gaps or those FVGs or imbalances back up to the downside, to the upside. So just overall being able to follow the flow of the market. I saw this right yesterday. I marked it up as an area of interest, but I said it in yesterday's video about right here that I was very, skeptical because of what they may try to do. And they did exactly that. Came all the way down it, then they pushed to the upside, broke this area structure right here. Now what are they doing? They're coming back down to fill. They came down overnight into the pre-market session to fill these areas back down to the downside. Are they done coming to the downside quite yet? They still have, they could come down here and test this area down here. Now, they did test it and come back down to this demand zone resting right here, as you can see. But this is a valid demand zone, don't get me wrong, because it did have a major breaker structure right here, but they reversed up here at the top and came down and test this area right here, okay? Right here. I'm going to mark this up because it's actually a good point or a topic to talk about. But anyways, as reference. But anyways, they reversed right here, came down. So when they reversed here, they came down to the downside. They tapped to the zone here, but we went from being bearish coming down to the downside here before we tapped into the zone. So just be careful of things like that. They tapped it. It is a major zone there, and they're reacting off of it now because now, again, I talked about it, said this plenty of times before. Look for something major to be taken out and a pullback to it, because that's typically where they're going to react at, if that makes sense. So when they break a major area structure, this was a low, this was a high, that was a major high, this was a major low. They broke that major high. They come back to this major low, this demand zone right here. Now they're reversing back to the upside, searching for areas to do what? To fill in. Now they filled in the fair value gap of this area here. They may come up and fill this area here back to the supply zone here. And then at that point, they may decide to push a little lower before actually pushing back up, or they just made it run the lows out here and take out this major low right here. We don't know. You have to be able to just follow structure as it's being formed on the charts. But yeah, to anyone out there who actually took this trade right here, this was a beautiful trade. We're starting to break to the upside here. You're following kind of the momentum off the higher time frame chart, and the structure on the lower time frame is shifted to the upside, breaking structure, reversal here at the bottom. There's a trend pattern to the upside here. Breaker structure here. Nice pullback to this demand zone resting right here. Excellent trade to take to the upside here with, full potential for the market to come up here and test these, areas that need to be filled in the market. All right. But that's all I have, guys. I mean, if you are interested in the trade breakdowns where I go into detail about my trade setups and I break them down as if you're sitting right next to me or virtually, watching the trade itself unfold. The last couple of videos I've done on the public side of the YouTube channel here have been live recording sessions. Now, there's a private community where tons of people have joined. I appreciate you guys supporting my efforts as not only as a trader, but as a content creator as well. And the thing about it is that's where I go into great detail about these setups. I break them down as if you're sitting right next to me so you can, so you can see it for yourself and understand the thought process put into it. Talking about structure, profit target areas, stop loss areas, to gear you up and put you in the right direction so you understand and can look for the same or similar type setups. But the key to everything, the secret to this all when it comes to trading is to understand structure of the market, all right? If you really want to be able to grow your account size, all right? So understand that. If you're interested in becoming part of that community, the link is down in the description portion of this video. It's titled the Elite Channel Supporter or Elite Channel Member. Link there, click on it, choose the second tier for $6.99 a month. That is all it is. That's like 24 to 25 cents on a day, on the day, which adds up to be that amount at the end of the month. But that's where you get all the trade breakdown videos, and there are lots of them there that walk you through a series of trades, one video after another, showing you the setups and then where I'm explaining them to you. Also, you get the video playlist and a great video that I cover surrounding market structure for anyone that's interested. But yeah, the link's below. If you're interested in becoming a Discord member, the link is down below as well. You click on it and you can join for free, okay? Now, if you're not a subscriber right now, what are you waiting on? Become a sub today by subscribing, clicking that button down below. Make sure to turn your post notifications on by clicking the bell next to that button. And last but not least, if you found value in me breaking down the market today, running you through what I see from my perspective. I don't always get it right, in a sense of getting the market right. I don't have the capital to push the market, but I'm trading based on what I see, and that's what every trader should do. So if you found value in today's video, make sure to click the like button for me right now. Go ahead and click it before you jump off the video or click X. All right. Take care. See you in the next one.